Hi, everyone. This is a quick video explaining the reframing matrix agent. For those of you who don't know, the reframing matrix uh, is a cognitive process tool which helps people think about a problem from different perspectives. And hopefully, through that, helps you understand the problem better and then get to the underlying root cause and then, actually find ways to go solve the particular problem. You can read more about the reframing matrix. You can click on this link and it goes and it talks about the problem and the different perspectives. What this agent does is, as an input, it will take a business problem that you have, and then it will ask you a clarifying question to get a deeper understanding of the particular problem. And then from that, it will identify four different perspectives to look at the problem from. So typically, it tends to be product planning, potential, and people. But in this case, what we're doing is, depending on the problem statement, we are identifying the most relevant perspectives. What you can do is you can change these perspectives if you want to and add your own perspective if you feel one of them is not relevant and you do want to look at it from a particular angle. And then after that, based on those perspectives, it's going to go and ask you more clarifying questions. And then once you answer all of that, it's going to come back with recommendations for you. So you go here and let's say your problem is we are struggling with lead generation. Let's say I select that. And then from that, it's going to then ask me some clarifying questions about it. And it's going to say that, this is a very ambiguous statement. I need to understand a bit more. What specific aspects of your current lead gen process do you believe are not meeting your expectations? What criteria are you using to evaluate their success? And I'm going to say my open rates for my cold outbound email are very low. And so let's say that's really the problem that I'm trying to get to. This point of time, it's going to now go and identify and look at this problem and say, what perspectives should we look at this if you have this particular problem? And so it'll look at it from a target audience perspective, a messaging perspective, email strategy perspective, and a customer experience perspective. So it's basically saying that, hey, if you have this problem, you should look at it from different angles. And these are four different angles that it's come up. We can either choose these, I can change these if I wanted to. It's all editable. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to leave it as is. And then when you hit go, what it's now going to do is it's going to now go and for each of these perspective, it's going to go ask some more clarifying questions. And again, this is a highly consultative. Typically, you'd be paying consultants a lot of money to spend time with you to really think and ask you questions about your problem from various different angles. And what I'm doing here is basically using the LLM to go and find that out. So the next step is going to be a list of questions. And then so you can see from a target audience perspective, it's going to say who are the specific decision makers and influencers within the companies you're targeting, and how well do your emails address their needs. And I can say that we have well-defined ICP, and the emails are targeting their pain points. What patterns have you noticed in the industry the company says that tend to email those that open frequently? And how might you adjust your based on this particular data? I can say we do not have this data. Enough feedback from recipients who did about what caught their attention. People typically do not give us this feedback. And again, you can see, it's asking questions. You can ask, answer it how you want. I'm just kind of going to go quickly over here. Language of phrases in email, subject lines, don't know. Have you analyzed? And I'll say don't. No, I'm just going to type don't know just to move on. What feedback have you? Nothing. And then email strategy, have you analyzed the subject line? No. What patterns? Timing of the email? Don't know. Different email formats? No, we've not done that. Would you review the responses, feedback or patterns? Not noticed anything. Any insights from the customer interactions? I'll say no. Timing or frequency? Then I'll say nothing. Anyway, point was to just kind of quickly respond to that so that we can then see what happens once it comes back with the response to the. And so now you can see what it comes back with is a deep dive into your particular problem. And so one thing it's identified, as you can see from my answers, lack of data-driven insights, consistent, insufficient data collection, there is no feedback, you don't have a targeting strategy, which is all very valid based on the responses that I gave it. And so it's saying you need to have a more structured approach. You need to understand the audience's pain points. There are data gaps and stuff like that. Then it looks at contradictions and blind spots. Uh, while there is defined ICP, the lack of data on engagement patterns suggests a disconnect between targeting and actual recipient behavior. And then absent of a feedback mechanism contradicts the need for continuous improvement in messaging and strategy. And then it's talking about what your blind spots are, and then actually turns around and then reframes the problem to say that it's just simply not about low open rates, but it's lack of actionable insights. And then it gives you recommendations on what to do. So this is what the agent does. Obviously, put in your problem, and it's going to come back with a detailed reframing of the particular problem and recommendations on what to do. Thank you.